Okay, I just spent the last 20 minutes recording and the microphone was not on. So here we are again. um, no, thanks for joining me for this prototype demo of CoreCast. We're really excited about how this is coming along, and we're building it around a user centered experience. So very excited to show you what we've been putting together, what our users have been asking for, and invite you to come and join us. So we started building CoreCast a few months ago. It was really born out of a request from several of our clients that we service in the real estate industry. We service them as analysts, as investor relations specialists, as asset management advisories specialists, and several different functions in real estate. And we had started to notice this trend of disjointed, scattered functions throughout different applications that don't really talk to each other very well. And so what we're doing with CoreCast is we're bringing all of those functions, or a lot of those functions, into one application. So excited to show you how that's coming along, and I'll get my face out of the way here so you can see a little better. Okay. All right. So this is how it's starting to look. This would be your property dashboard, where you come and you create a new property and you tell CoreCast a few details about that property. You tell it its name, the address where it's located, what kind of price you think you might offer on it, you know, what size the asset is. Boom, you're done. You have it created. You click in. As you click in, you'll be brought to an asset dashboard. With a new property, you don't have any data in it, so you need to fill a few things in. And so we've created these input sections over here to fill in the key details. We'll have a couple options here, and we're working on some machine learning options where you can drop in an OM, drop in seller financials, drop in rent roll, drop in a few different items, and then just have the information auto-populated for you. When we release the first features, a lot of it's going to be manual because we want to have users start to tinker with it and tell us, do you like the way that these inputs are laid out? Do you want different inputs in here? How do you like how things are flowing to the dashboard? Do you like how the reports are popping up? Etc. So we can get some early feedback before we go too deep into any one thing. But basically, your asset dashboard that you've got here, I was just checking to make sure that my microphone is working this time, and it is. Basically, the asset dashboard that you've got here, you'll have a current estimated value. So for a property that's under contract, you've put in the seller's actuals and you've made your own forecast. And based on the cap rate that you've told CoreCast you think it is, you'll get an estimated value. Down the line, within a few months, honestly, we will have market data enrichment in the platform. That'll come in terms of user growth inside of CoreCast. CoreCast will continue to get smarter based on what everybody's inputting, and we'll be cleaning that data on the back end and delivering it in a nice way that enhances your market data in here. Well, we're working on some partner integrations with data providers, so that'll help. That'll give you kind of an estimated valuation. Over here on the right side is what you're purchasing the property for, right? So you'll be able to compare purchase against value and kind of get an idea of baked in equity. Or maybe you're overpaying. That's the insight that CoreCast will help you understand. This will be the most recent net operating income. So again, for a property that you're about to buy, that would be from the seller's actuals. For a property that you have under management, this would come from your own actuals, which is another value of CoreCast, is you'll be able to see your actuals against your forecast, and we'll have a baseline forecast in here that will probably be the first time that you underwrote the property. What did you project it to be? And then you'll have your most recent forecast against those actuals. So, right, get some insights on where was the property, where did I think it was going to be, where do I think it's going to be now, based on how the property's actually been performing. So you'll see that in yearly and quarterly and monthly increments. And we're working on a button right here that'll take you into your output section for your cash flow, so you can see all of your line items just like you would see in an Excel document. For this tile over here, this returns by sale date, this is a hold sell analysis tile, which helps you understand, based on the property's current performance, based on where you think it's going to be, particularly in a given year, when might be the optimal time to sell, or when will you start to see nicer dividends, etc. Capital stack down here, this will show you your current capital stack versus when you originally purchased the property. Right, so get a nice look at sources and uses, and we're working on some more visualizations for this to make it nice, but you get the basic idea. Unit mix summary, this is specifically for multifamily. It's counting up the number of studios you have, number of 1 beds, 2 beds, 3 beds, etc., and giving you a nice distribution and telling you what those are renting for, and what the occupancy levels of those individual unit mixes are. For commercial, this will be more based on the square footage, kind of sizing, small, medium, large tenants, etc. So I won't click through all of these input sections. If you want to come and see all of these, feel free to schedule a demo with me. Feel free to pre-order CoreCast along with our other users. First features, or the first time that we expect to let people in here to actually be able to upload their properties, etc., is in about a month. Still working on some of the code in the back end and the database. But we'll let people in about a month. The first 50 people to pre-order get CoreCast for $50 for 4 months. As we get through kind of this early iteration stage ahead of an official beta launch in the summer, which will be ahead of our official version 1 launch towards the end of the year or beginning early next year. So the first 50 people to pre-order get a really nice $50 for 4 months. And then when we get into the beta, it'll be $50 a month, which is going to be probably about half to 75% or so of the cost that the other users will be using the platform for. And then even the other users that'll be using the platform, right, it'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of 75 to $105 a month. Feel free to tell us if you're finding something that's cheaper, or and preferably, well, and I guess relevantly, is cheaper and offers a similar value set or a similar tool set that we're offering. We want to stay competitive, but based on our research of 300 companies in the marketplace, we do believe that CoreCast offers the most comprehensive real estate intelligence solution for the best value. But definitely let us know. So yeah, I'll walk through a couple sections here, and then if you'd like more, schedule a demo with me, and or we send weekly insights to that group of pre-order people that get to see things that nobody else does. So I'll walk through this revenue section here. So revenue, right, you're going to have a unit mix for your different floor plans, and it'll show you how many units are in those particular floor plans, what the market rent is for those floor plans, and what you're forecasting the rent should be for those floor plans. So a note on market rent here. Where is that coming from? It'll be a couple of things. So as the user base in CoreCast continues to grow, CoreCast will get smarter, and it'll know the properties that operate in Dallas that are Class B multifamily, or it'll know the properties that operate in New York that are Class A high-rise condos, etc. And so we'll continue to get more and more market data in here that'll feed into sections like this. But in the early phases, what we're doing is we'll rely on the user to input what they think the market data is, and then secondarily, we're working on some partner integrations with data providers that'll help to make CoreCast smarter in the early phases. Other inputs that you'll get here in the revenue section, you'll get rent growth over different periods. You get vacancy over different periods, concessions over different periods, and a note on vacancy. So in an opportunistic acquisition deal, for example, say you've got 50 units of multifamily, and that's spread across 5 buildings or something. You're going to go in and you're going to take 20 of those units offline, so you can do the renovations, and you'll set this as renovation vacancy. And you've got 50 units, and you're going to take 20 of those offline. So you'll plug in 40% vacancy across the property during whatever period that is, and then you'll add a new vacancy period that once you've gotten out of that renovation period, you'll say this is lease up vacancy, and let's say that lease up vacancy is 20%, and so then you'll set some new dates for that. We'll come into 26 and we'll get into March, and we'll say March 15th, 2026 through March 15th, 2027. Add vacancy 20% during that period, and then you'll get to stabilization. Add stabilization vacancy, and we'll say that that's 7%. And so then what you'll do is you'll set that to the next date, so March 16th, 2027 to, let's just set it to 10 years out. Great. Add vacancy. So now you've got 3 vacancy periods, and it's a broad stroke approach, but it keeps it simple at the beginning, so anyone can come in and do it. And it allows us to move faster into other aspects of developing the application. So we hope that that's a good feature for you. And as we go along, we'll continue to get more sophisticated and kind of tie it into rehab schedules and make that better. But that's the feature there right now. Same thing, similar thing for concessions. And then you've got your other income section. So you've got RUBS, you've got parking spaces, storage units, pet rent, fees, and then other income that you might specify. So that's how the revenue section is starting to shape up. And right as you fill in all of these features, you'll come back to your dashboard and you'll start to see how that's changing things across the board here for your cash flows. Additionally, I think the feature that I'll like the most is I'll probably input all of my assumptions into revenue, expenses, etc. And I'll probably come back to the dashboard, take a look at how this is looking generally, and then we'll have this view cash flow button here, and I would click view cash flow and it would bring me into this cash flow report. And that's probably where I would spend a lot of time, but everybody's different, and that's what we're trying to build it for, is a comprehensive experience for a bunch of users. So let me show you one more section that I think people will start to like is this equity section. So everybody knows in real estate or in private equity in a bunch of different industries, it's very common to raise both debt capital and equity capital to accomplish the deal, to buy it, to renovate it, to make it nice, fix it up, get it into a stabilized position, and you're adding value by doing that. And so sponsors, for doing all of that work, they set up an equity waterfall with their limited partners, and they bring them in and they set up a structure. So we could set up a syndication structure where we're going to specify how much equity is required, which this will be an auto-filled feature once you get kind of once you get all of your other inputs in. You get your revenue, expenses, valuation, equity, debt, rehab. All of this will sort of talk in between each other and prompt you with what it thinks the right input should be, and then you'll have the option to actually go in and make that input based on your understanding of the deal. So we get total equity required, how much the sponsor is contributing, and then the LP is subsequently the balance of that. Then you can come in here and you can create different investor classes. So you can come in here and create different investor classes. And different classes will have different structures inside of the LPA, the Limited Partnership Agreement. And that might specify that those contributing in Class A, maybe they contribute 250 grand each, so they get a better pref, and they get the sponsor doesn't catch up to them in the waterfall. And maybe Class B doesn't contribute as much, and so they get a lower pref, and the sponsor does catch up to them, and it wants me to add the name here. Let's say that it's let's say it's 100,000, so I add the class. And so then you add the class here, and you've got a preferred return, and the catch-up provision. So let me click through over to the waterfall section, and we're starting to see those pop through, right? So we have Class A, Class B, what their pref is, whether they have a catch-up or not, and then we're going to set hurdles. We're going to set hurdles, which we're kind of working on tying these to the different classes as well. Hurdles and splits. Sponsor fees, right? Your AC fee, asset management fee, dispo fee, etc. And this will be a great place where, as an investor, as you start to use CoreCast, you'll start to get to know what are the normal fees, what are some of the things that you should look out for, and then you can go to your sponsor and say, hey, are you charging XYZ fees? How does that affect my deal? Do you have a CoreCast that you could send over to me that I could review, kind of like a normal Excel model, right? And then you can do your own inputs inside of the system and make your own projections and have a more informed conversation. All right, and then you get your returns analysis, so your sponsor returns, return summary to the different classes, cash flow projections, all that good stuff. Okay, and if you'd like to see more of these sections, feel free to schedule a demo with me. Feel free to pre-order CoreCast. We provide weekly insights to the group of people that pre-order CoreCast, and subsequently, any users that come into the system, they'll get weekly insights from us and the opportunity to shape the development of CoreCast. We love iterating with our users. It's because of some of them that we've set up the equity waterfall this way, and it's because of some of them that I'll go and show you some more of these features here, that we've set up the portfolios the way we have. So I've spent a lot of time on the asset because it's a core feature of what we're doing here, but I'll move into some of the other features here. So let's look at the pipeline tracker. The pipeline tracker is a great tool. We have set this up to be in a Kanban view and a map view. So what does that mean? The Kanban view, let me move this one back to where it started, is a way to move deals through stages. If you are prospecting for new deals, you would come and add your new deal, right, to this button here, select a status. Let's say we put it in the prospect phase. Once you add the deal, it'll be added to your property section, and it'll be added to your pipeline tracker. And then as those deals progress through stages or they come off, then you'll be able to archive them. But as they progress through stages, you can move it through the different stage. So you go from prospect to offered. So now I have 2 deals. Here's the total asset value there. Let's say that the Langsford Pond has moved from offered to under contract. And so as we move through these phases, we're working on some pop-ups right now where we'll ask some more details as you move it through the phase. So the prospected deal moves into offered. So what did you offer on it? What's the forward 12 income, so we can get a cap rate? As we go under contract, what's the contract price? We'll start to provide some transactions templates to help in that process, and yeah, we'll ask more details. And yeah, this just gives you a good way to keep track of your deals that you're prospecting on and the things that you are working on, right, under contract, or maybe you've closed on it and now you're renovating it. And again, we'll ask more details there. Another way to look at it is in terms of the map view. So some people might like to look at their portfolio geographically. So we've got this integrated into Google's API, and so you get a little tile here that pops up that shows what that deal is, where it's at in the process, and some key details about it. Oops. Pull this back up here. Let's move into the portfolio section. So portfolios, this is a feature that I really like. If you've done any portfolio roll-up in Excel or in any other application, you know kind of how hard it can be to roll those together and to get portfolio or fund economics. And that's what this one is doing. So we'll look at this one, for example, Southeast multifamily, or to my Midwest people, we'll do Midwest multifamily. It's a portfolio of multifamily properties in that particular region. And so we've got 3 properties in here, and the total portfolio value of those 3 properties is this 82 million bucks. And here's the portfolio IRR and portfolio dividend. So let's say I came and I wanted to add 2 of my properties into here. I don't have any other multifamily properties on here right now, so maybe let's do the office one. Let's do the Florida office. So maybe I wanted to add a retail property and an industrial property. So I'll click add. And so you see that it updated the portfolio value and the portfolio IRR. So let me refresh this and see if it'll get rid of those. Maybe not. A lot of this is just static data that doesn't have a database or backend tied into it very well yet. Perfect. So now I can come in here and I can add those back. So yeah, you see it reverted. It's got the portfolio IRR, portfolio dividend. Once we actually add the database in and the backend to tie it all in, your data will be tied to your profile. And so anything that you input into here, you log out, you log back in, it'll all still be there. This is just for the presentation purpose. It's not tied in, so it makes it easy to revert. So yeah, Florida office. Let's go in here and let's add in, so pay attention to the portfolio value, and these portfolio returns, you'll see them change. So click on retail, we'll click on industrial. I guess we want to add those into maybe Florida commercial. So I'll hit add selected, and it updates those values. And it's really nice. And then we'll have these easy one-click reports that will be formatted really nicely. And so you can send details about your Florida commercial portfolio to prospective investors or prospective lenders. And it makes it really easy to create those presentations. So we've got a lot going on in here. We've got our properties underwriting section. We're going to have all different asset types, all different execution styles. Got the ability to track your pipeline. Got the ability to create portfolios and fund economics. Have an investor section, which I really like this one. And importantly, the investor section will have very tight securities on it, meaning that let's say you have a fund of 50 properties and you've got 1,000 investors. So it's really important for investor 242 to only see updates on properties 10, 25, and 36 if that's the one that they're invested in. Maybe it's a syndication or special purpose vehicle or whatever that they're invested through. So that investor will only get updates on those properties. And you have the option of, are you sending monthly updates? Are you sending quarterly updates, annual updates? And the CoreCast will generate really easy investor update reports that will use large language modeling to both pull in your financial data out of your CoreCast, but then also details about the market. Use these large language models to to create paragraphs that kind of provide an update of the Miami market and how it's doing, or the Dallas market and how it's doing, and then have some qualitative space for you as a sponsor to put in your own input, and or to change the text that the large language model creates. So that way you can create a custom report, but you don't have to go and do all of the research yourself. So that's how things are coming along. That's how they're firing up. We've got so much more coming down the line, and this is just very much the early phase. But we really like how it's starting to look. Let us know in the comments down below what you're thinking about it, and if you like the way that it's starting to look. We love iterating with the people who are going to be using it. So that group of people that has pre-ordered CoreCast, they're going to get first access into it once we release these first features here in a month or so. And they're helping to shape the development of CoreCast. So if you'd like to be a part of that group, you'd like to get great discounts now and ongoing, definitely sign up at the sign up link below. And we're really excited to be building this for you and create a great real estate intelligence platform. So thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support. This is a really fun project to be working on, and it's something that we get really excited about as real estate analysts, real estate owners. We want to create something that's great for us, great for you, and we think that CoreCast is going to accomplish that. So I'll see you in the comments. And yeah, feel free to reach out to me individually. You can contact me on my LinkedIn, and always happy to take a call offline. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support. I'll see you later.